Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into this next call. So this next call is actually a, a very savvy investor that is again fully trying to create a very creative deal, and was, wanted to really take control of the entire conversation, really dictate all of the terms, and try to explain to me how what an awesome deal it is to be able to put all this money down that she wanted to be able to take it over. Um, and we'll talk a little bit more about, kind of what transpired after that particular call. This one happened last week. So let's go ahead and jump right into that one.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit about.
Oh, for 1 second. Okay.
Guys, can I get a yes in the chat if you can hear this?
Teresa, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Good. I wasn't sure. I thought
Awesome, thank you.
I didn't have the times correct, so I'm glad we were able to have a conversation. How are you guys doing?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm excited. Excited to talk with you.
Absolutely. So tell us what's going on. You're trying to just get out and get on a plane to LA, or what's happening?
Yeah, so pretty much I just need to sell because of not only with COVID-19, but my husband had been hospitalized, so I just need to have a certain amount of money, and because of the market crash in 2008, we purchased the condo in 2007. I'm not able to really cash out the amount of money that I would require. So that's why I'm deeply discounting the property to be able to get a certain amount of money out and pay off my remaining mortgage. And then you guys can get a free and clear property in the end. So what was your ultimate exit strategy? Because I'm also an investor as well. So I'm willing to, see if we can make this a win-win opportunity. But I can just tell you up front that I require nothing less than $50,000 down. If you guys can't do that, we probably can revisit the conversation at a later date. But that's pretty much what I need down, and then we can certainly come up with win-win terms for both of us.
I got you. So what's your so are you offering like $50,000 down, and that what, like, pays the mortgage off free and clear and everything, or what?
No. So basically, we owe $217. I believe we owe $217. So the property as is will sell for $240. So that's why if I was just to put it on the market, I wouldn't be able to walk away with pretty much nothing. I have to move everything out of here. I have to move it to California, purchase another house in California, and take care of things with my husband and financial, getting things in order financially. So that's why I was looking to JV the property with another investor so we can, have a win-win. So pretty much, if your investment strategy with this property would be to buy and hold, that would be a good thing for you guys. And then you can just, you can get a corporate tenant in here that I would suggest, because they come already vetted, a military client, they guarantee will have rent rolls, and then you guys can just sit on it, have a monthly cash flow, and then you can sell it within that time frame. So for me, you're giving me an opportunity to pay the remaining mortgage off. So that's how we would do a subject to wrap, but you're just giving me one lump sum, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I mean that totally makes sense. I mean, I'm very familiar with that strategy. I have a subject to wrap going on right now
Exactly. It's the most, I believe it's the best way to do deals. I know with my deal, the only thing that throws people off is that I'm asking for one lump sum, but that's just for people that have all cash, and it's not going to work if you have to do hard money, and I understand that 100%. So I'm just ultimately, if you guys do have the 150, because I can take it down 20,000, and we can just go from there. So pretty much what will happen is I'm going to place the $100,000 towards the mortgage. You guys get the property for 150. I'm going to keep 50,000 to move and purchase another house. And then you're going to give me 12 months. I will ask for 12 months to pay off the remaining mortgage. So pretty much you'll have a property that has the lien on it. So if you guys wanted to just do a rent roll, you can do that. And then when I give you guys a clear free title, you can sell it, or you can just keep it as, for investment property.
So I just want to talk about something real quick. If you guys listening to this, she is literally dictating all the terms, telling me exactly what I'm supposed to do, and she's double talking herself. So one, she started off by saying that she needed $50,000 down, and then that last 30 seconds, she said that I need to give her $150,000 down. She's going to keep 50, and then she's going to pay off another portion of the mortgage after after the deed gets transferred into our name, and then in another 12 months, she's also going to go ahead and pay off that loan, right? So there's a couple of red flags going up, because what she's talking about makes sense, but also doesn't make sense. So the structure that she's trying to do, I understand, but the way that she's trying to do it also doesn't make sense. And I'll talk to you a little bit more about that at the end. And guys, if you have any questions, while we're going through this, go ahead and just type them in the chat. Let me go ahead and play this.
But either way, it's a great deal. I can send you the comp. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. I mean, I've seen the comps. I know where.
Right. So the last property sold for 240. I think 239, 240. So, and that my property can sell, but I have a BPO for 238 as is, and that's not including any type of rehab. So the rehab, the rehab is probably less than $5,000, depending upon what you guys would want to put in here. Also, if you guys would like, I can keep the property fully renovated for you, and fully loaded for you. So all you have to do is just get a tenant that they require fully loaded, fully furnished, and I can do that because I really don't want to have to move everything out right now. And that way you guys can just go ahead.
So let me slow down for a second. So if you're familiar with the subject to the wrap, all that, why aren't you just wrapping this yourself and selling it to someone that would buy it with a higher interest on the mortgage?
Because I still won't get the $150,000. Most people don't have the $150,000 cash.
Well, right. So I guess I don't understand why you need to pay down the mortgage $100,000 just to keep $50,000 instead of you collecting a down payment from your homestead buyer and then upgrading yourself to a lender and wrapping that mortgage, which I assume is probably at a 3 or 4% rate, and then put that person in there at a 8 or 9% rate, collect that down payment, and then cash flow as a lender and not as a landlord anymore.
Right, I do understand that, but I just don't want to have any more ties with the property. Because I just want to sell it and get back to Los Angeles.
I got you.
So this property is a Airbnb. I initially started out as a landlord, so I definitely do not want to be a landlord again. Airbnb,
right. That's what I'm saying. You'd be a lender. You wouldn't be a lender.
No, I know. I'm just explaining to you that Airbnb has been great to me, but at this point with my husband, I don't have the energy to maintain the household. I understand what you're saying with I become the lender, and I just don't want to, I don't even have the energy to do that. I just want to sell the property and move on, and JV the property, and then you guys can sell it free and clear if you decide to do that, or just cash flow it.
Right, I guess I'm still.
Oh, for 1 second.
So DeMarco brought up a great point. He said something must be wrong with the property. So I don't necessarily think anything's wrong with the property. So to give you guys a little bit of background on this one, this property is a condo, right? So one, you obviously got your condo fees all wrapped into her mortgage payment, but she's trying to like wheel and deal in a different way, because she still started out by saying she wanted 50,000 but needs like 100 to like pay down this loan. And when I told her, hey, well, if you're trying to do it this way, why don't you just collect a $50,000 down payment from someone and put them in that house and then cash flow it as a lender? I think I might have just lost the place in here.
Because it's really just going to end up being 50K, right?
Premium pricing for that. So I would not rent it for less than $3,000 per month.
Am I too far, guys?
And that's pure cash.
Why we would want to pay down the mortgage $100,000 out of the gate?
Well, no, because I just want to sell it and get back to Los Angeles.
I got you.
So this property is a Airbnb. I initially started out as a landlord, so I definitely do not want to be a landlord again. Airbnb,
right. That's what I'm saying. You'd be a lender. You wouldn't be a lender.
No, I know. I'm just explaining to you that Airbnb has been great to me, but at this point with my husband, I don't have the energy to maintain the household. I understand what you're saying with I become the lender, and I just don't want to, I don't even have the energy to do that. I just want to sell the property and move on, and JV the property, and then you guys can sell it free and clear if you decide to do that, or just cash flow it.
Right. I guess I'm still missing the point of why we would want to pay down the mortgage $100,000 out of the gate.
Well, no, you definitely don't have to do that out the gate. That was just my strategy to get the mortgage paid down as quickly as possible, so you can have a free and clear title. But sure, if that's not something,
well, I mean, why don't you just let me keep the mortgage in your name forever and just make the payments?
Right.
I mean, I understand ultimately, you know, that could be an option too. So how much would you bring down? Because I really honestly just want to not even have to deal with the property anymore. But how much would you be able to put down?
Well, how much is your mortgage payment with the taxes and insurance escrowed in with the condo fees? Because I'm sure the condo fees are high and everything.
Yeah, the condo fees are high. So basically, you will be paying the mortgage now is like $1,000 or something. I don't have the numbers right in front of me, and then the condo fee is $365. So you would.
So would I be paying like $1,500 a month to the condo fees and the mortgage?
Well, it would be just under 14. So it'd be just under 14. So you would price your rent roll above that, pass that on to your tenant. So that's
Right.
why.
So I mean, so here's the way I mean, so I'm on board with what you're talking about, and so what do you like if I just put like a regular renter in there? I mean, what do you think that it would rent for?
Well, I would suggest you put a corporate tenant in here because they will come in with a property fully loaded. So you can get premium pricing for that. So I would not rent it for less than $3,000 per month. And that's.
So guys, I also just wanted to point out another thing. If you guys don't notice what I'm doing in here, you're probably hearing her. One, she's dictating all the terms. She's telling me all this stuff. But what I'm doing is sometimes it's better to play dumb, right? Like, one, I identified with her. I fully understand your strategy and what you're trying to do, which I think was a little bit of a shock to her. But I'm still trying to play dumb because she is just giving so much more information and starting to tell on herself a little bit because there is some underlying thing that still does not make sense about what she's trying to do. Because if she only wanted the 50K, then be like, hey, all you have to do is put 50K down, take over my mortgage, and let's let it be done. But she's still a little bit hesitant in that, which is, the little red flags going off in my head. I'm like, okay, well, wait, why wouldn't you just let me keep it in your name forever and put the 50K down? So just food for thought.
Pure cash. That's pure profit for you because I'm going to continue to pay the mortgage, pay the insurance, pay the taxes, and pay mortgage, taxes, insurance, and the maintenance on the property until I give you guys a clear title.
Well, what I mean, instead of doing that, why don't you just because so in order to do that, I mean that. So I mean, if we're doing that, like I would still want the deed in my name. You know what I mean?
Of course, the deed. Of course,
because other than that, I mean, we would have to do like a land installment style deal where it gets
right.
So,
the deed will definitely be your name.
Right. So let me try to simplify what it is that you're trying to do, right? So your end goal is to get $50,000, right?
Mm-hmm. For right now.
Okay. And then what is it money-wise that you're trying to get later? Is there some other portion that you're trying to get later? Because it's really just going to end up being 50K, right?
Right. If you wanted to set up where we're wrapping the mortgage, the remaining mortgage, and in other words, essentially, I create a mortgage for you, and we'll.
No, I would create a mortgage around your mortgage. So
right.
this is how I would do it, right? Deed would get transferred into my name. Your mortgage would stay in place. We would then wrap a mortgage around that, and we would find someone to come and purchase that property that right. is not necessarily credit worthy to purchase.
Exactly.
They will come with a down payment, right? And then we would make money as a lender as opposed to making money as a landlord. Your mortgage would then stay in place. My only concern is that 50,000, down is a good portion, but what I could possibly maybe do is, put some of my cash into that and collect the rest from the tenant or from the homestead buyer that we would be putting in there to satisfy the total of 50,000. But your mortgage
exactly.
would stay in that name.
Exactly. So with that, you certainly can price it at 240, 245, because you will be marketing to a buyer that the bank will not finance.
Right.
So most of these people, they understand they have to pay more, and then the interest rate is so low, you'll be able to get a tenant in here or a home buyer immediately, because it's, you know, the market in DC, Maryland, Virginia will always remain steady. So, and then this particular location is perfect for people that have ties in Baltimore, ties in DC. It's just a perfect win-win for location.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good location. I think it's an affordable price point. You know, I think that we might be able to do that. 50,000 is just high. Might be able to put some of my cash in there. You know, how soon are you looking to, you know, obviously get this done? I mean, you're looking like you trying to get this done like yesterday type of a timeline, or what's your timeline?
So that would be my question for you. So for example, I also would like the opportunity. So let me just say this to you, to be quite honest.
Sure.
As an investor, I will also prefer the opportunity to be able to pay off the entire mortgage myself and then resell it for 240, 245, right? But because of my current situation, I would just need $50,000 so I can go ahead and flip that.
So did you guys hear that? One, I already provided the solution for her, right? So the solution is, hey, we'll come with some of our cash, because getting a homestead buyer to bring more than 15% on, so 240,000, let's call it 250,000, right? At 15% is $37,000, right? That should be easily obtainable to get a homestead buyer that, you know, has been trying to get a mortgage or cannot get financed, but they make a lot of money. Believe it or not, guys, there are a lot of people out there that they make a lot of money, but their credit is just not in a position where they can get lended, or they're savvy investors and they use write-offs to the full extent. So it makes it look like they make no money, but really they made like $500,000. But my point is those buyers do exist, and there's a lot of them. So this is a very viable strategy. But I provided the solution for her, and that solution was, I'll bring some of my cash and I will get the rest of the cash from the homestead buyer in less than, you know, let's say 30 days. They come in, I wrap her loan, she gets her 50K, and then she can go and get. But now what she's talking about is she wants the opportunity to come back and buy the house back from me, or from whoever, right? I say me, but who knows? We might wholesale it off, or, you know, whatever. But this is one of the deal finders leads. But my point is that once I already provided the winning solution, now we're starting to find out what she's really trying to do. So check this out.
And possibly by the time you guys find a buyer, I want to put it in the contract to let me have first right of refusal. Then I will buy it back from you, if that makes sense. Because ultimately, I just need the cash right now because of COVID-19 was going on with my husband. I just need to get some things straightened out, and that's why I need that specific amount. So in the interim of that, I feel like we have a deal, if that's something that you would agree with.
Well, I guess I don't understand why you would want to come back and buy the property back. So are you looking to just like sell this, make 50K, go back to LA for a little while, and then come back and buy this thing back?
In other words, if you had found a buyer in the time frame that I'd be able to make some major moves, if I'm not in a position to buy it back from you, then certainly, by all means, do it. I'm just saying, just give me an opportunity to, if I'm in a position to, I will buy it back from you. That's all I'm saying.
Right. So I mean, I wouldn't necessarily really make any money in that rate, because if I'm going to buy it, if I'm going to set up this transaction this way, the way that I'm going to do it is I'm going to go find that homestead buyer in the next 30 days, use almost all of their down payment plus some of my cash to get into the deal to upgrade myself to a lender, and then put it in. Obviously, they would get the deed transferred into their name. I'm the lender. I then put myself in a position where I set them up with a deed in lieu of foreclosure if they mess up those payments, and then I have first right of refusal to be able to do it again. And I would be putting them in a position where they would have to stay within my mortgage structure for at least 3 to 5 years. If not, there'd probably be a $12,000 prepayment penalty.
Right. Well, yeah, all that is perfectly fine. So I think basically what I'm saying is that you're technically not going to be losing any money if you allow me to buy it back first, because you're not going to. I would be finding that buyer first and using a good portion of their money, and then combining my money to purchase that property. And then, so like if I only have to put in like 15 grand because I was able to get a $40,000 down payment from my buyer that's coming in that wants to live there because he couldn't get financed, and he's paying my new mortgage that he has a deed in his name that he's locked into for at least 5 years. I mean, he's happy, and there would be really no way for me. I mean, he would have to decide to sell it back to you, not me. I'm just a lender. Right. No, I'm just saying, before you even sign the papers with him, you're going to give me the right to purchase it first. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, no, definitely. I would definitely not do that. Because how would I give you the money, and then?
No, you're not giving me the money though. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, maybe
it's just a term that we would just add to it, and I'll explain that to you. I'm very familiar with the first right of refusal. So a good portion of the $50,000 that you're looking for will come from your buyer, right? Will come from your buyer. So essentially, I'm saying that, let's say, I'm just trying. So what I can do, for example, is let me do some numbers, because I'm talking to another investor tonight.
Yeah.
For example,
I would be shocked if this other investor knows what you're talking about. This is a very high level strategy.
Yes, it is. So basically, this is what I'm saying though. Just 1 second. So one thing about seller financing, which I love, and I'm grateful that you're 100% understand this creative financing, is that there's no impossible deal. It's just a matter of two buyer and seller agreeing.
You're absolutely right.
It's exactly right. So the fact that we are both investors, we both want to get to an end goal, right? So I appreciate you also being smart enough to not always look at the one trick pony way of doing real estate. Ultimately, the way that you win in real estate is through buy and hold. So, and then like you do subject to wraps. That's the ultimate strategy of how to win in this business. So I'm so grateful I don't have to explain it to you. I have been literally pulling my hair out trying to explain this one simple strategy that most people in the DMV are such one-trick ponies. They are clueless. It goes over their head. So here's the situation. Now, let me just do some numbers, because
Sure.
the reason why I'm saying that is, essentially, if we were to add that clause, let's just say all I would need for you to put down is $25,000. Okay.
Okay.
So then you go out and try to find your buyer, right? Let's say that I was able to flip that $25,000 to my best interest, and then you say, "Hey, Queen, I found a buyer, but I'm gonna give you an opportunity to buy it back first." So what will happen is I will give you your $25,000 back, and if you want me to add interest to that, I can, for your trouble. You see what I'm saying? Because essentially, you're just helping me get through a situation where I can get to my next power move that's going to give me multi-millions of dollars. I mean, just to be completely honest with you, I have multi-millions of dollars waiting on the table once I execute these moves. So I just need the cash, because COVID-19 has pretty much bottlenecked everything.
Right.
I just need that time frame. So I'm just saying, whoever beats the clock, if you get your buyer and I haven't flipped that to my advantage, and by all means, you go ahead and with that buyer, and then you can bring me the difference through him. You see what I'm saying? So you'll bring me
I think I do.
the 30,000.
I think I see what you're saying.
Right. So you'll bring me the 25,000 through him. If you're putting down, let's say 25,000, you follow me? So therefore, if I don't have my ducks in a row by the time you find your buyer, then you go ahead and close with that buyer, and then our terms stay the same. You're going to wrap the mortgage around him. You're going to pay us whatever that is, and he's going to pay you $1,000 plus, and we'll just keep it rolling from that point. But ultimately, I'm still going to, but I don't have to rush to pay the mortgage off the way that we're structuring the deal.
Right. So let me ask you, I guess, a more realer question. Like, how fast do you need the money that you need?
Well, I would like
like
to.
in 2 weeks?
Yeah, well, no, I would like to move. I would like to get back to LA like tomorrow. But realistically, I'm purchasing a property in West Hollywood that currently has a tenant in there. So by law, I have to give them 30 days to get out. And because of COVID-19, that's why I don't know. I don't know if I'm legally able to have them move out. You follow me?
Yeah.
So I have to figure those things out. I'm gonna make a call and kind of see. So once I find that out, is all the time that I would need. So for example, if it would just depend if you will allow me to stay here 30 days because of that tenant has to get out, because I'm purchasing the whole building. But the tenant I have to give them 30 days notice by law. So
right.
based off of your down payment, I'm going to be essentially putting that money on that property. So at 30 days after that is when I can move back to LA, because I really don't want to move back until the renovations and all that is done. But that doesn't have nothing to do.
So I just want to pause for a quick second. So she's talking about she's trying to make it sound like she's buying this big building, but she's talking about one tenant moving out. So if you're buying the whole building, it sounds like you're only buying a house and not a whole building that has a bunch of actual apartments in it or units in it. So, she's going from $25,000 down, and what she's trying to do is get me to go ahead and these kind of transactions can be done outside of a title company. One, I would never do that just because, it's not recorded. There's no mediary or anything like that. You can sign that deed over, exchange money, promissory note, all that stuff. But I would never do that, because what she's trying to do is gain this money, right? And then try to, it seems like, get everyone on the okie doke and try to come back and get this deal. But the only real way to do this thing properly is to find that buyer, use that buyer's money, combine some of your cash, because really at the end of the day, you would be able to cash flow. Let's say you're in the deal for about $10,000, $15,000. And if you can cash flow somewhere close to around $500 to $800 a month, and you don't have to deal with that tenant at all, you've won. Because in real estate, all the real money is always made in lending, right? That's why it's all these hard money guys, all these private money lenders out there, they want to keep their money on the street, and having, that's how banks make their money. So by you only collecting that interest, right, especially on 9%, you're starting the amortization schedule, you're paying mostly interest, very little principal. That's how the deal makes sense, but she's not getting that because it's not solving her problem, because she wants the cash right now and wants it for like 2 weeks or so, and then wants to try to come back and buy that property. So basically she just wants me to lend her money for nothing, and is trying to put up a house as collateral, it sounds like, but has no equity as collateral. So I don't know, listening to this call again, it's just funny, because what she's trying to do makes sense, but she's really has some hidden agenda that hasn't been fully figured out yet.
With you, if you want the property vacant, I can be out and just go back to LA and just Airbnb somewhere. It's no big deal. So I'm just talking it out with you.
Sure.
So whatever's best for you. But let me just so I can know how I can do the numbers. What is your best down payment that you can do?
I mean, you were saying 25. I mean, 25 sounds good.
Okay, perfect.
I honestly, so I'll be honest, Queen. It's very rare for me to have like a conversation with someone where I'm not explaining.
Isn't such a breath of fresh air? And listen, like we can let this be like the first of many deals we do together. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So
no,
yeah.
This is cool. So because I mean, I definitely want to be able to crunch the numbers, right? For me to really give you like something that's not like a bullshit commitment on the phone is like, one, I would want to know exactly what the payoff is. It doesn't need to be like
absolutely,
and then
yeah, for sure.
Exactly what the PITI is and what all that is. So that way,
right?
We don't have PTI on this. Okay. Right. So then, let me know what you're paying insurance-wise, and then, let me know what the taxes. I can obviously look up the taxes myself, but just so that way I can get a really good grasp, because I have to calculate my entry fee accordingly. So that way I make sure that it's that it's a good deal and work it out. Because I haven't actually had anyone approach it this way, but I see where you're going.
Right. So that's what's so beautiful about this, and that I appreciate you. You're like such a breath of fresh air, and I'm just telling you, I'm literally like pulling my hair out,
trying to explain this to everybody.
Right, because I'm giving you, I'm practically giving you a property for free. Right. So you're gonna make so much money off of it. I'm just in a situation. I don't give a shit because I'm about to get millions of dollars. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I can lose a couple $100,000 off of this property because I got millions waiting for me. So therefore, It's just a matter of, okay, we got COVID-19 that really put everybody in a crazy situation. But we still, as investors, if you're smart, right. And I appreciate talking to a smart, visionary investor like yourself. I appreciate you. I really do.
I appreciate you. This has actually been one of the more fun conversations that I've had all day. So this is
absolutely, because you know what is essentially we're both business bosses, right?
Yeah.
So we want to be able to, not only for me, I like to do business in integrity. So for me, like I'm always going to make sure that your best interest is also being, first priority. So that's why I appreciate you giving me an opportunity to talk it out so we can see what works for each of us. So again, like I told you initially, hey, I can only accept $50,000. But after talking to you and seeing, hey, how you were willing to make this work to get me that $50,000, then I said, okay, well, hey, I like this guy. Let me see what I can do. Let me go back and see how I can work my numbers to make it work. So we both can win in the end. So I'm so very grateful for this.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's do this, Queen. I'll give you. How much time do you need to run your numbers? Like, you want to reconvene maybe tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow's good.
Or do you need till Monday?
No, tomorrow is good, because the reason why I'm saying that, when I was asking, like, how much can you do? Because I literally can get the money and purchase my tickets tomorrow and be on a plane tomorrow. You follow me? So that's why, let me just talk to my seller in California and kind of see what is the deal, because ultimately it will, whatever we decide is strictly based on, can I have that tenant move out in 30 days, or is there some type of moratorium where I can't put him out? You follow me?
I see. Okay. I'm following you. Okay.
Yeah, so that would pretty much determine. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You finish. I was going to interrupt.
No, I was just going to say that will pretty much determine how I could work my numbers, because then I have to factor in paying out the ads for Airbnb. You follow me?
Yeah, no, I'm following.
Yeah, for 30 days, and then, I'm not sure if you decided that, yes, Queen, I'm going to keep the furniture, I'm going to keep it fully loaded, or do I have to move everything out, and then,
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. I mean, what is it that you want to do with the furniture?
Were you able to take a look at the property?
No, I haven't seen the inside yet.
Oh, okay. Well, let me send you that. Hold on for 1 second. So the property is in pristine condition, and you'll see the reviews off of you'll see the reviews. Hold on Airbnb. So your tenant will 100% love it. The only thing that I would suggest is that, and you don't have to do this right away. The only thing that you really honestly need to do if you wanted to flip it was just to get a new washer and dryer, a new countertop. I already have the new faucet. And
well, what's the countertop on it now? What's it like that?
Well, with the countertop, it definitely needs to be redone. I would definitely redo that before. And it's
not granite?
No, it's not. It's not. But I would put quartz in here. That would be just my preference. But if you can do granite, but I have a guy that can do quartz for $1,600. Like, my guy can do it for you. Yeah. So
that's not a bad price.
Say it again.
I said that's not a bad price at all.
Right. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So you're talking about new washer and dryer, new countertop. And if you wanted to, you can put a nice little pantry, because I was thinking about doing that if I was going to sell it myself, just put a new pantry in the kitchen and just take out some of the laundry areas for that pantry, and get a new closet space unit in the closet, and that's it.
Okay.
That's pretty much it.
That's not too bad. And like, even if I put, my buyer in there, I could always just be like, I could always just pass that shit on to him and make him do it. to make them do it.
Pretty much. I mean, because,
Yeah.
like I said, when you take a look at it, let me send it to you right now so we can look at it together. Hold on. They're going to love it as is. I had never gotten any complaints once I renovated it. Hold on.
Right.
I mean, I was Airbnb in this place, and it was a total mess, and people still booked it.
Right.
But at this point, I just need to get back to my husband. So that's why I really want to talk it through
Yeah.
with you. So give me your number so I can text this right to you.
Yeah, it's 443.